I'm Chase.
And I'm Timothy.
And this is Customer Service. Alrighty then, we are here. It is Boulder, Colorado. No.
Still.
No.
No.
No. Reset.
We don't retake.
We're live in it.
Retook last week.
It's a beautiful morning. It's hot. I am wearing short sleeves for the first time ever on the podcast, I think. I was sitting here getting sweaty in my jacket, if you can imagine, and I couldn't do it. It's hot. How are we doing?
Those Discord freaks are gonna have it up like they're solving the Bundy case, trying to figure out all the different tattoos you have for the first time.
Bundy.
How am I doing? Fine, normal. I told you my stomach hurts. Just had the adult classic, which is caffeine and ibuprofen at the same time. So I'll be feeling good in like 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Take 15 ibuprofens.
Kick back into
Crazy
it.
Taxi.
Yeah. I took 15 ibuprofens and went and played Crazy Taxi at Fuddruckers.
Yeah, Fuddruckers. You ever been to Fuddruckers?
No, I'm getting it mixed up with.
You pick out your meat?
No, I've never been to Fuddruckers.
We used to go when we'd go to South Carolina in the summer sometimes, and we used to eat at Fuddruckers. Then
There's a bunch of shit on the wall.
There's a lot going on, but I'm not sure what it all is.
There's a chain in the Midwest outside of where I went to college that we would go eat at. Rockneys. Are you familiar with Rockneys? Rockne.
What's the theme?
Apostrophe S. It's like American food, but also like gyros and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like it's like sit down. Uh-huh. And like
this is gyros.
Yeah, this is gyros for sure. And like I don't think it's the case, but like part of me feels like I remember it being a smoking section in college, but I feel like they had done away with that.
Well,
I might be
in the
wrong.
Midwest, buddy, the rules sort of applied at different rates, I think.
Yeah.
Because we were still able to smoke in restaurants far longer than
Yeah, that's Rockneys. Yeah, it's just gas.
That looks fake.
So you'd go into Rockneys and you'd get a gyro and you get some fries, or you'd get like a sampler plate that had butterfly shrimp. You know what I mean? The shrimp
hell?
that's...
No, these things don't go together, obviously.
Hey, the catch is it's all fried. So
yeah, well, I'm not surprised at that catch, actually.
Yeah. But no, to answer your question, no, Timothy, I've never been to a Fuddruckers. I would eat a whole fried gyro. My buddy growing up had a dog, a little white terrier, a little shit dog, crazy. Tiny little legs, fast as hell, couldn't catch him, shaking all the time. Mm-hmm. His name was Gyro.
A classic animal that for some reason only parents have. Only parents who've hit 50, they get a dog that's like the worst dog in the world.
Yeah. Well, my mom has a dog similarly that is so high strung. He is so cute and he loves to cuddle, but any sort of mix up or fuck around in the schedule ruins his time. Shout out my beautiful mother. Ruins his life. You know what I mean? He's just shaking at all times. And but my buddy growing up had this dog named Gyro, and he lived out on the lake, and we're like 100% sure that one day his mom just set him free, just let him do his thing, just because one day he wasn't there, and dog. she didn't seem very worried by it. So time goes by, and we're like, your mom definitely just let that dog go. You know what I mean? So
he just lives outdoors now.
He just lives outdoors.
I guess you don't hear about outdoor dogs that often.
No.
Like cats, obviously, you see them around, you're like, oh, it's like a neighborhood cat. But you don't see like a dog that's just like, that one just wanders around.
Yeah. No, not often. Somebody will snatch him up, take him, like him, I'm sure. But how we doing? Other than that, let's do a little recap. We do have a little bit of a structured podcast today with some good questions. So we could do a little recap. Happy 4th to everybody. We painted the town red in my own. Is that what it is? Painted the town red? Mm-hmm. Or you paint the town?
I don't know what you're talking about, right? Or what you're about to talk about, but that is a saying.
That would insinuate that you go out and go a little wild.
Sure.
That isn't what happened. Oh yeah, I'm in an infinite spot today, ladies. Good luck trying to ticket me. Don't wave at me, sister.
I like them. I like them because they go out there and they give you tickets, which I'm pro. I've been on record.
He likes
being
it.
pro them
He
giving
likes
you
it.
tickets specifically. So I'm gonna go actually walk them out there and show them this because
Infinite spot.
I have hated for years. It's not that I don't want you guys to have an infinite spot. I hate the way you guys talk about getting one, as if it's like your God-given right that you're like, yeah, finally got my infinite spot, and you're like, you little brats. You don't. I'm gonna go tell them, hey, you guys should be metering this area. You guys could bring in a lot more money. Everyone thinks they're getting away with it over here, ladies.
I think the reason they don't meter it and they don't is because there's that old folks home right across the street, and I think the intention is if should they need to use that or there's some long-term parking for that. That's the intention, I think.
And instead,
I use it for my job, or there's a couple 94 Corollas with fucking aluminum foil on the bumpers, and people just put their shit there long term.
Now listen, if you want to switch this to the people that are living in their vans that do that like, and let's be clear, when I say living in your vans, I mean this was a specific choice.
Yeah, it's a Sprinter with a fucking up and down bed and shit. Yeah,
my dad thinks he can tell me to work at his financial firm, and I'm not gonna do that. And they're like, man,
I'm gonna buy a brand new Mercedes Sprinter for $95,000.
Yeah, do you know how quickly I would work at my dad's financial firm? Like that would not even be like, sure, great.
Yeah,
you got this all set up, and I like can't get fired because you're not. You've been as mad at me as you're gonna get. You know what I mean? That'd be great.
Yeah. When I wrapped your King Ranch truck around a tree in high school, that's the most mad you're gonna be.
Yeah. I already hit the height.
Shoot. So anyway, I think that's the intention. I like it because I don't get tickets, but I also, whatever. Fuck it, dude. I don't want to talk about the tickets anymore.
Did I ever confess to what I did to my car like day one of having it on here?
The Traverse?
No. When I was a kid.
No.
I got a car when
was it the Chevy?
The
Cavalier.
I've only had like three personally. I've only had like 3 cars because I went through a long string of not having any car, which is the best part of my life.
Chicago and well, you guys had a car, but it was a shared car, and it wasn't your.
I didn't drive that car.
Yeah,
I hated driving in Chicago.
Yeah,
I didn't know where anything was because I've said this 100 times. I only knew how to get there by following the way I knew the train went to where it was. So I would just follow the train because I knew where those things connected, but I didn't know like the faster way to do it.
Yeah.
Because I just never learned.
Taking a bunch of weird ass one ways to still be within eyesight of where that train is.
I was when I first moved to Chicago, and you remember I was like a kid. Like this was like I exited college and immediately went there, having no concept of I'd been an adult for long enough, but I'd never been like an adult in a city. You know,
sure.
Things had it shifted. You know, I get there, I decide like, oh, I'm gonna go get a haircut. So I looked up a haircut place. I don't look at like how far away it is at all. I just think it's Chicago. I can walk to anything I want to. This is what I've wanted my whole life.
I'm here now.
I didn't touch the car. I start walking. I'm like, oh, this is far. And I'm in a very dicey neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it starts raining. And this was all to get, to go and get my inaugural, like, guy with tattoos who was into hardcore.
Yeah, to cut
I
your
ended
hair.
up being friends with this guy for years, to be clear. Shout out Isaac. He
was he that famous barber from Chicago? Wasn't there like a big barber from Chicago that was big on the internet?
No. I knew that guy too. He just shopped with me. I didn't. He didn't fade me up.
Yeah.
This guy, he'd cut my hair, give me the same haircut every single time, same amount of money every single time. It was actually kind of a fine setup. It was before it got like fancier, when suddenly these guys were like, it doesn't have to be like a straight barber shop. I could add in some of the things I'm noticing happening at salons.
Yeah.
And now every single place is like, you're not all at the same level. Some of them are just guys you give $25 to plus tip, and they give you the same haircut like Isaac did.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got here. But anyway, I walked all the way there, got the stupid haircut. Yeah. My hair is rock hard, you know what I mean? From whatever they put in it to get it doing what it's doing.
You got some products.
And I had to walk all the way home. I just assumed as soon as I landed, I'm like, you can just, anywhere I want to go, I can walk to it. Yeah. And that's not exactly true. I never drove.
What was the first car story though?
Oh,
you got the Chevy Cavalier the first day?
Chevy Cavalier. I picked up my friend. First time you're allowed to do that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We go to my old school and immediately just drive onto the soccer field and just start whipping it around. So I remember just hitting a divot in the this wasn't like a nice soccer field. You know
Yeah, it's
what
a
I mean?
field.
It's just
grass.
And that's to be clear, I wasn't being like actively destructive. You think I went to some like hyper nice a school where there was like perfectly set up soccer field. That's not the case. This was like, it was like in the summer, it's overgrown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't mess
It's just
anything
it's
up.
just some grass at that point. Yeah.
It was rude, but it wasn't.
Sure.
I didn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
And I eventually did, but it was my own stuff. So I whipped this thing around there. We're driving around like lunatics. Shouldn't be doing this. And this was moment one that I made a bad decision. Hit a divot in the field, came down. I was like, weird. You know what I mean? But I was like, I've never driven a car myself other than like in training. So I didn't know I don't know.
It's probably fine.
I don't know. And then we just drove back, went to bed, woke up, and then hit to his stepdad yelling at him because there was fucking like fluid everywhere on their driveway.
On the driveway, yeah.
Because I broke something underneath it, and my dad had to come, and we had to pressure wash their driveway.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. To be fair, I never did something dumb after that.
Yeah.
I've never been in an accident, knock on wood. I've never done anything. You know what I mean? Like, but that was stupid. And then I lied and I said I hit a pothole, which is not a full lie because it was
There's a hole in the ground.
In the ground. I didn't say where it was.
Yeah. Dude.
He knew, to be honest with you. I think when he saw the piece that was busted, he was like,
probably your oil pan shattered or something, dude.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Damn. See, that shit's fun, dude. I love the hijinks of, like you said, I can feel and smell what it felt like to be in my 2003 turquoise Nissan Sentra. It was a 5-speed manual. It was
I don't know why turquoise really. Imagining you in a turquoise vehicle.
It wasn't jewel tone turquoise. It was like
that would only make you like it more.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was more like a turquoise that maybe had some darker green in it. It was a darker green turquoise, but nonetheless, the person that had it before me maybe smoked cigs or something in the car, and there was an outline that said Ohio University, which I didn't go to OU. I went to Kent. But it was Ohio University like sticker over the back window. So in the winter when it would fog up and shit, you would just see Ohio University forever the whole time.
You never took it off?
No, there was no sticker. It had like perma fried itself into the glass in some way. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, that was my car, and it was great. Learning how to drive stick was very, disheartening because the only way to do it is you have to just go out there and chirp your shit and go into neighborhoods and just stall out. And
when my friend I would say that the person who truly taught me how to drive was my friend Jared.
Yeah.
He was older than us, but for some reason was down to hang out with
Jared
us all the time. No,
different Jared.
Yep. I do think you met him one time, but anyway, he taught me how to drive in his Honda Accord, which was manual, like maybe a 4-speed. I mean, this thing was like a sewing machine, and and like the amount of times it would just be, we'd go out at night, which is smart actually. Like he would take me out we'd go at like 3 a.m. And other than the fact that there might be people, I guess, drunk driving or something, but the most part you go out there's nobody out there.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But I just remember so many times shifting it like through an intersection or something and like going, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then everyone yelling in the car like, oh.
Yeah.
And like that's just how that's how we learned to do stick, And then I never did it again because it never came up. But
yeah.
There was a time.
I in the shower this morning, I was thinking, I've got it in my head that in like 10 years, I'm going to have a Mercedes SUV. That's what I want. I'm just going to wait. I mean, my Civic's paid off, but I want like a Mercedes SUV or like one of those new Land Cruisers. I want some sort of, but it has to be manual. It has to be manual.
So this is like an older.
So that's the thing is they're not really manufacturing new cars.
They don't
in a manual transmission.
Like SUVs that are like that, right?
Well, SUV is hard. So I might have to just get an old truck or something. I might start saving. Hey, if anybody out there has a recommendation for a bank that has, I'm being dead serious, by the way. I have Wells Fargo, and my problem is the way that I move money around is very.
Jesus Christ! I just realized what you're asking.
I want to be able to have a banking app that I can put money into so-called folders. I don't want to take cash out and put it into folders in my house like that one guy that, I don't know, there's like a guy, a retirement early guy, and that's what he says to do, is take and put it in folders. I want to be able to section off and say, all right, cool, my paycheck comes, $100 goes towards a car fund, this much goes towards this. I want to be able to portion my money out so where it's visually broken apart. So if there's an app or some sort of bank that does this, if you could shoot me a recommendation. I don't feel loyal towards Wells Fargo. I've been with them for a long time, and it's doesn't have the organization features. Anyway,
And just to be clear, he has not heard of Excel, so you don't want to
it's not.
recommend.
No. That's not going to do it because if the money. If
Why
all the,
do you need to physically move the
if
money
all the money
around?
is in one spot and it's one lump sum, I will obsess about that number, and it can't be less or more, or you know what I'm saying.
This
but if it's
feels
already in a
like-
folder,
You do this a lot. You want technology to bend around your weird shit rather than going, I have some weird lines of thinking I might need to address.
well, my thinking is if I'm going to bank with somebody, I can't be the only.
bank with somebody.
I can't be the only person here who would like to be able to move their shit around a little bit and label some folders. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Again, it's attitudinally giving the same as the infinite spots of your banks. You would be so lucky to have my business where I'm moving my money from account to account.
I think you'd want me to bank with you.
Yeah.
But so that is what so anyway, I really dearly miss driving a manual car. Really, really badly. I think we should go. I think we go get a couple. I think we go to a couple of Miatas together, like I've said I wanted to do. Come of the old ones with the stick. We go and we race around up the canyon in our Miatas. That'd be sick, dude. A
wanna get
little
one
soft
too?
top.
I would love to get one.
Those those come in jewel tones, so you'll love them.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm thinking I want like a little, give me like a little royal blue one. You know, that's what I want. I want a royal blue Miata.
I get a black,
too.
obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah.
white for you.
Yeah.
Or silver.
Okay,
Or silver.
Silver.
I am
Just
gonna get a
three
car
boys
truck
in a Miata?
still though. That's still that dream is not faded. It's just
Oh,
about
please,
moving
I'll believe
some
it when
shit
I
around.
see it.
And those are all 5-speed right-hand drive. You know, I'm like, well, some of them are automatic, but again, if I don't want it for an automatic, I want it for a manual. But anyway, yeah, it's fun learning to drive stick. One more story about doing bad things as a child in a car, and then we can recall the weekend, and then we can go into the rest of the shit. But I had some friends that we used to like go to a buddy's house, throw eggs at his house. He'd get in his car, chase us, and we'd throw eggs at his car. He'd throw eggs at this car, this, that, and the other. And so we had a period of time where we would do this around Ashtabula in the evening on the weekends. It was like a common thing, like so-and-so's over at so-and-so's house. Let's go fuck their shit up. And then maybe they'll chase us, and then we, you know what I mean? And
You want them to chase you?
it was fun. You'd whip around town, try to find them, and then you'd whip by, and people hanging out the windows throwing eggs. And anyway, one night I wasn't part of this war, so to speak. And my friend was in you said a Accord reminded me. It was like a 95, 96 Accord. It's red. To give you an idea of this car, it was so small that me and my buddies once lifted up the bumper and moved it sideways in a parking spot so she couldn't get out in high school. So it's a small little ratty car, right? They're chasing each other. They're whipping through an elementary school parking lot. You come in the left side, you whip around the right, comes back out, feeds out the same way. And this kid is on her ass in her Accord, and she hydroplanes, goes straight into the side of the elementary school. Boom! Shatters the wall. All a bunch of computers and TVs and shit fell off the wall on the inside. They never found out it was her. She was able to get the car out of the driveway, drive it to her house like 2 blocks away, park it in the garage. Boom! No one was none the wiser. But fucking straight into the side of this elementary school, dude, like a literal brick wall. You know what I mean? And that's just tight. That's just tight. Kids these days don't understand that. You know what I mean? They would never be able to have that amount of fun.
I remember one time I got in the middle of doing something bad that I wasn't even doing. I got like roasted on the side. You know what I mean? So like I
Wait, what do you mean?
I'll explain.
Yeah.
So I had this one friend. He was I think I've maybe mentioned him. If I want to call his name out, he had a really funny name though. Like it's a long full name. It's very funny. But anyway, he was always doing bad shit. There was always something going on, and his sister started dating this guy who we knew kind of, and he was like one of these guys who was kind of a dork.
Was he older than you, or was he?
He was older than me.
Okay.
I don't know by how much.
Yeah.
A couple years at least.
Yeah.
He had like a Mustang.
Yeah.
Like, one of those like...
Is it like before they did the new bodies in like 2006 or whatever?
The nicest car where we're from is Mustang, I think. And it's just that is as high as a level as they've thought.
Do you remember in 2004, 2005 when they did the new body and they came out with mint green Mustangs? Do you remember these ones? They were tight.
Not
dude.
specifically.
I was like, dude, that's so sick.
This was the one that like everybody had like the soft top version of. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
It was that Mustang.
That's
they
we're
came
on
in
the
like
same
a
page.
dark green and like...
Pointed nose or no?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It does.
Box bodies are tight, yeah.
Anyway, He had that car.
Yeah.
So he thought he was hot shit. And then on top of it, he didn't play any sports. Like he didn't even seem like a guy who was good at sports, but he got like kind of ripped in high school, which was weird.
Was he just
like
a country
the only
boy?
guy that was like ripped.
Yeah. Was he a country guy?
No. More
Because these corn-fed fellas are just ripped.
No, not like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
That's different. That's barrel body.
Yeah,
that's where it's like you're
barrel
just
body.
There's no definition to your body. You are
But you
are like the
but you need
cinnamon
me to
rolls
lift a
that come out
car?
of the tube, but it's hard. It's like they went petrified, and you're like God, I don't want to fuck with you, but like the body's not impressive. It's just it's
Yeah.
you got to deal with it.
Yeah, understood. Yeah.
Anyway, this guy, he was fine. It didn't bother me at all, just to be clear. So we go to, my friend was like, we need to go, like, we're gonna go mess with this guy. It's fun. He's dating my sister. It's fun to mess with him. I'm like, I don't want to mess with him, dude. He's like really ripped. So I don't know. It seemed like our territory, And he's like, no, we'll go. It's fun. We have this like back and forth, kind of like what you're describing, this weird. And I was like, okay. So like we walk through the neighborhood, we figure out where his car is, he finds his car, and he just pulls a knife out of his pocket and just starts immediately letting the air out of the tires. And I'm like, whoa. What kind of messing are we doing? You know what I mean? This is also taking a while because he didn't pop the tires. That's what I thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
He's letting the air out of the tires. So it's taking like...
With the knife, though? Like
He
he took the
seemed
cover
to know
off.
what he was doing.
If you press on the inside, it can deflate it. Yeah.
But you obviously know it's going to take like 15 minutes per tire for it to be even noticeable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's over there doing that. It's taking forever.
Yeah.
We're not getting noticed because we're making no noise. I'm to the side looking at my phone because I don't want to do this. If he comes out of there, I don't want to do this. I also kind of liked his sister, so I'm like, I don't want to make anybody mad here. I thought we were gonna go to his house, listen to Coed and Cabri and play Soul Calibur, and then we'd go home. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't know we were gonna get into all this.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting to the side in like my hardcore clothes, like my skinny jeans, but I also like I wore like leather shoes a lot. So I'd go to like a vintage store and buy leather shoes. I just thought it was like cooler. It was the same brand. Like,
was cool.
wear blazers and stuff. You know, I don't know. So I had leather shoes on. He comes out and I see the guy come out of he's on maybe tire 3. You know what I mean? We've been here for like an hour.
Yeah.
His friend, the kid, I keep wanting to say his name and not one. He comes out. He's in a tank top and like long basketball shorts, like Nick Lachey. And he comes and he looks and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm doing nothing. I'm sitting here." And he goes, "I know you're doing nothing. You're in leather shoes." And I'm like, "What the fuck is that? Why am I getting?"
What a dunk, dude.
And then he just chases my friend all the way home. I don't have a ride home or anything. So now this kid you've got this kid who's got no shoes on, long basketball shorts and a tank top, running after my friend going way down the street. His Mustang's always got stuff. He's got like tools everywhere, trying to deal.
Yeah.
I just have to walk. I just walked home. So
I know you're doing nothing.
I got made fun of for, you know what I mean? He had it so fast. Like it's like he'd noticed my shoes at a different time. I was like, I gotta say something at some point. What the fuck? He's saying it while running past me.
Oh, Timothy, that's honestly one of the funniest things you've ever recalled on this podcast. I don't know why I've never heard that, even outside of the pod. I know you're doing nothing. You got leather shoes.
Wait, no, he said like you got on church shoes, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? Got church shoes?
Dude.
Come on.
Oh fuck, dude. That is Timothy. That's truly next level. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Thank you for sharing.
All right. Well, what do we got to do?
So you did get roasted.
Have
So
you been mourning the step down of Anna Wintour since we didn't get to talk about it last time? That's probably a big deal for you, I'd imagine.
It's been plaguing me. I haven't been able to think straight thinking about her stepping down from that post. Who's gonna keep watch?
Yeah. It both like lightly makes me mad what you're saying, and also like I set you up to do exactly what you're doing.
Hey, buddy, I'm feeding into the bit. I don't know who that is.
She's birthday twin for me.
For real, same birthday.
Yep.
I won't shout it out.
Few years apart. I think she's born in the 40s.
Oh yeah, I think we're right a lot. We're not exactly close. No, I didn't know. I don't know. What'd she do? What company she work for? Can I guess?
Oh my God.
Give me 3 guesses.
Do you want to guess? That's going to make you look worse, I think. Go ahead.
It's doing me. Chanel?
Nope. Not even
Prada?
No, not technically in the right business.
Give me a hint. Was she like
a magazine?
Oh, was it Vogue?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would have gotten there. I just needed to know that it
You
wasn't
just needed
fashion.
to go through every single fashion house you knew first.
I know it's not Sports Illustrated.
Let me just say it to get it out of my head.
I know it's not this. God damn. Well,
Anyway,
cool.
she's
Good for
stepping
her,
down.
dude.
We'll have
She's
to see
retired.
we'll have to see who steps in. Yeah, she's been there. She's been there for eons. She's done. She's served her time. There was nothing more for her to give, you know. But she's tight.
Yeah.
She's tight. She's who Devil Wears Prada was based after.
You're never going to Paris. You know. I only know the Devil Wears Prada
Well,
because
I'm
I know the
wondering
Office
why
bit.
Crocodile Dundee was working on the on the film you saw.
Again, I'm doing Michael Scott doing the
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
So,
Well, anyway,
so no, that's
she's
good for
stepping
her,
down.
dude. She's retired.
I think it's nice. I want to see who can they put in there that really will
Where's
lay
she
down
live?
the law. New York.
New York?
What's that have to do with anything?
I was thinking, is maybe it's Paris. I don't know. You know?
No, she lives in New York. She lives
Yeah.
in like Greenwich Village, I think. She has a really beautiful apartment. She's
Cool.
yeah, she's awesome. She's the coolest.
Very
you know?
cool.
She was
No.
mean, and she's like, I really like reading about her like daily life because she's like kind of a freak.
Yeah.
Like she, I'm trying to think of all the weird stuff. She only eats protein, which is wild. So she eats like steak, hamburger,
She's a carnivore.
Salmon, and eggs and shit. Like
That's
eats that
it.
every single day. Yeah.
How's she look?
She looks good for her age. I mean, she's got the bob and the sunglasses. You know, Anna Wintour.
Did she?
Well, no, you don't.
No.
But yeah, and she's like, she like gets up really early and goes to bed really early and only goes to parties for like 15 minutes and refuses to stay any longer, which is tight. I mean, I love having boundaries.
There's
like
so
that.
many things you're saying here that are really cool.
When she goes to the fashion show, she sews up like super early
Yeah.
so she can like roll calls, and then she's just there. And
Sick.
I'm like, and then it intimidates people, obviously.
Yeah, 'cause
and
it's
I'm like,
her.
she gets it. She's every like move she's making is working on a bunch of different levels.
I put her in the same category in my head. Again, we've talked this in the ground. I don't know a lot about all this, but I put her in the same category as my head as Gwyneth Paltrow, of like kind of like self-aware, doing their thing. Powerful women. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, this Anna Wintour is about her business. She's no fucking around. You know what I mean? She's a yeah.
Oh, cool. Great haircut. Looks good on her.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I think
You
she's
hear
cool.
that, Anna? Chase approves of that haircut.
I like it. It's
that
good
she's been
haircut.
rocking since, I don't know how long now, forever.
Yeah.
She's tight.
No, that's cool. Good for her. So she's retired then, I am assuming? She's not going to move on to another
Stepping
post?
down. I don't know. People always say they're stepping down and they come back. Maybe she'll come back like MJ when she's 90.
Yeah. Did you get what I said about who's gonna keep watch? Like she's keeping watch over like a military base or something. She stepped down from her post.
I did. You threw a lot in a row. Yeah, I did catch that.
Hey, real quick though, I do want to talk about this weekend because we didn't do that, but just a real couple quick fun quips.
Go ahead.
Friday, 4th of July was Abby's birthday. We all went out for drinks after we closed up shop here a little bit early. You've been to Jungle. You've been to Jungle. Jungle in Boulder is now my new favorite thing. It's like a tiki bar. They do fun drinks. I walked and said,
Dry
I want
storage. I'm so sorry for the shortfall in your
It's a different place.
this next
No,
month.
they're different. They're different. They're both favorites in different categories.
One place at any given time.
I got room for like 4 spots to obsess over. Jungle and Dry Storage are the two. I had a blue drink. Came big as hell. Great. And then I had a tropical Negroni, which was great. But what I came here to say is this. Abby got a banana daiquiri and pina colada blended frozen drink.
Okay.
One of the best things I've ever tasted. You wouldn't even know there was alcohol in it, dude. If she was like, just try this smoothie, wouldn't even know. Absolutely stellar. So I just wanted to say, shout out Jungle and Dry Storage. 2 mainstays in the Boulder culinary world.
Boulder culinary
Then
world.
we wrapped up. We walked back to here.
Have you been to any other places like recently, like in Boulder?
No.
So it's just those 2. Really?
We went to West End when our buddy was in from Japan.
Oh my God, that was in like fucking.
I've been to Dry Storage. I stopped by
last year.
February. I stopped by Verb twice, and they didn't have cold brew one of the times.
What?
I like their cold brew.
No, why did they not have it?
I don't know. They gave me an iced Americano, which I agreed to, but I was, they're not the same.
2 different things.
I wanted that cold brew. They do a really good job. But no, I don't go places in Boulder. Come here. which I really like. This is a safe place. When you come into town for things like the party that we had or coming on the weekend, it's nice over here. You know what I mean? And you drive through the rest of Boulder and it's cool, but this is the nook that I enjoy. But no, I don't really go many places. So
Can you rate these things for me?
hit me.
I don't know that I care if it does matter though. Rank items you could buy at a coffee shop.
Oh yeah,
Let's
great.
say top 5. Any order you want.
Okay. Number 1, plain black hot drip coffee. Period. That's the number 1 thing, right? Like I'm drinking hot coffee now. It's an Americano I made at home, but I'll get it in the middle of summer. I'll get it in the middle of winter. Then I think it's whatever they've got cold brew.
Over Americano.
Over Americano for sure. Black drip coffee. Yeah, over Americano. I do Americano because we have our little espresso machine, and it's part of my routine, and I like the way I do it, but if I were to choose one of the others, I prefer just plain drip. And so it's going to go black drip coffee, in-house cold brew if they got it, and then the third would be whatever the best pastry that they have is, and then everything else comes after that.
Okay. First of all, terrible ranking because you didn't even do the ranking. One of it was just any pastry.
Well,
The
do you
best
want me,
pastry
can I
they've
pick the one that I would
You're
want?
supposed to be specific, and you're supposed
Oh.
to do 5.
Oh, 5. Well, okay, then
So
black
you've
drip
got
coffee,
plain
cold
black
brew.
coffee, cold brew.
Yeah.
In a
Two
perfect
sides of the
world,
same coin.
in a perfect world, they've got like a something lemon poppy seed or a coffee cake. One of those would be
This
the best.
is your perfect world. This
Yeah.
isn't like you're not.
Okay, then that's it. Then it's a nice, hefty little slice of a coffee cake
Okay, I'm going to allow it even
with
though I
the
wasn't thinking
cinnamon
about
swirls
food,
in it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then from there, Starbucks, something like a peach refresher, or the dragon fruit refresher. You know what I'm talking about? Those are good. Shoot.
I should have known that would be.
Yeah.
What's number 5?
You know what?
tee me up.
You don't get a number 5.
I don't need it. I got all the things I want in number 4.
Ugh.
Do the 4.
2 types of the same thing: a lemon poppy seed muffin he thinks, and a peach refresher from like Dunkin' or whatever you said.
Coffee cake.
Okay.
What
sorry.
would you do?
Yeah, what's
what am I
yours,
missing?
Timbo?
What do you mean? What are you missing? You only
Teas.
pick teas or like
I'm not getting
latte
teas.
or
I'm not
anything.
getting teas. I'm not going to get as much. I like matcha, but I'm not going to order it at a coffee shop because I feel like this is a me thing, but it's kind of like I'm taking up too much space because I know matchas are usually like a cumbersome thing to do. You know what I mean? And I know that that's silly, but
Well, I'm sure coffee shops are thrilled to hear this, that you're deciding to save the employees so
Save
that you
them.
don't spend the money on the matcha.
We are
Just
in
buy
a-
the matcha.
we're
What do you
in a
think? It's
matcha
all on the
shortage
damn
right now.
menu.
yeah, there is a matcha issue
Shortage,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah, so I'm sitting on a couple of dead stocks from Kyoto that are probably oxidized and bad. So
You know what? I'm going to say this. This will not be a popular take of mine. Matcha is mid as hell.
I don't think it is what people are making
If
it out to be.
matcha looked like coffee, let's say when you made it up, it looked brown. It looked no different than coffee in a glass. I don't think people would order it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that
I
people
think it's
like
the
that it's green and they
color
walk
and
around
yeah.
and go, I'm interesting
Yeah.
because I have a matcha and I picked something
When
different
it's
than
trendy
coffee.
now. Which I have a hot take on matcha. Because Soph and I'll drink it straight and I make it really strong.
I don't think it's
milk,
bad. I want to make
just
that
straight
clear.
water.
I
Yeah, no,
just think
I'm
it's
with
sort
you.
of
I think matcha
it's
is
fine.
good, but I
it's
don't
in the
think
same
it's
category as tea to me. It's like it's fine.
No, and I think people I think the caffeine does something different to you than coffee.
Yeah.
In
It's
my
a
opinion.
different type, isn't it?
I'm not, and I'm also not arguing is one healthier than the other. Obviously,
yeah,
one
no, I
seems
know.
healthier than the other.
But my hot take is this. I think with the shortage right now and the obsession of like the $10 matchas you see in like, New York and the big elite cities, right? In my opinion, you should not drink matcha with like all the crazy blueberry swirl, peach, little lychee jellies.
All
To
the
me,
stuff
it's
in
like
it, yeah.
it should be straight or nothing else.
Yeah.
And I think that would save our shortage. Because
Yeah.
to me, it's like you're drinking that and it's like you don't even taste matcha. It's just like a fruit flavored. There's no matcha in it. It's just green for the
or it's
aesthetic.
so filled with oat milk or the other.
Exactly.
You know
it's
what
not
I mean?
even tasting like matcha.
It's like when we go to the conveyor belt sushi spot that Gia made the little matcha. That's good. I like just a little dash of powder and some hot water and you mix it up. That's good. I do like that. But I'm with you. I would also not say that matcha is like the end all be all. For the record, if we're talking teas, I think that I would do like a hojicha over any other. Japanese type of tea.
Or like a jamacha, the toasted brown rice.
That
one.
one's good.
So
Or I
good.
also like oolong and shit.
Yeah.
Either way,
Barley
matcha's
tea.
fine. Matcha's fine. But
That's my hot take, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
That would get rid of it at least. Yeah.
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 So
All right.
Yeah, what's your top 5, though, Tim?
yeah, hit us with just a couple coffee shop things.
Let me think. I'm trying to think of how I'm rating them in my mind. I think that I love an oat milk latte, but that's a treat. That can't be an everyday thing, or it's not, or it's not good.
No, it's got to be
It's got
special.
to be like every few days you get one, and then I think it's so good. And then iced only. To be honest with you, I've hit a
You're a
point.
cold drink
I don't think I
year-round.
like anything hot.
Yeah, you do. You've been doing that for years of cold coffees, cold drinks. Year round.
I don't, and all throughout the winter. I mean, every once in a while, I like to have a regular coffee. That's fine. But honestly, I think when you're talking about regular coffee, I'd almost rather have like gas station bodega style coffee as opposed to a really nice just plain coffee. Sometimes, sometimes there's just it's like a nostalgia thing.
Well, there's something nice about a severe like Bustelo. If you just have hot water and you add Bustelo to it, that's really severe, But
The only thing is that
nice.
I feel like it makes your breath bad the rest of the day when you do that shit.
It's
what I'm
really
talking about? 'Cause
severe.
it's so
Yeah,
on your tongue.
yeah.
I think that I like iced Americano a lot because I'm not doing it exclusively for the caffeine. I need it because it's an addiction, obviously. Like we're all addicted to it, but I don't want it to be. I don't need cold brew level caffeine most days.
Yeah.
So I like espresso has less. I do that and then water. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So I like that. That would be number 2. After number 2, I think I go. Then I would do cold brew. I understand that those two are different. And then that's like my secondary. That's almost like a 2.5, but we'll call it 3.
Okay.
4, I think. See, now I think I'm forgetting things. Oh, I'll have a macchiato now and then too.
Ooh, a macchiato,
On top. That's kind of nice in the summer now and then. And then cortado.
Oh,
Love a cortado.
love a cortado.
But that is one where I do not want. It's the only situation where I would not have milk substitute.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to be right when you get it with anything else.
Yeah.
You got to just do it with whatever they do it with.
It's usually serving like a little 6-ounce guy.
Little
right?
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. I used to get the cappuccinos from Boxcar quite a bit, and they're little tiny little
I
cups.
could never get into a cappuccino.
Really?
It's too much. It
Too much
never comes
froth.
out. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't.
It's all foam.
It's just foam, and it
Yeah,
kind of ends up
sure.
kind of all at the end, and then it's sort of weird. You know what I'm talking about? So I like the
get that.
idea of it, but I never got into it. You know?
I feel like traditional cappuccinos, you're just supposed to body it. Just like
Yeah.
tiny cup,
Yeah.
hit. Usually, you're just getting foam straight espresso
But that's
all
like
in one
because
go.
they're smaller too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like even if you think of like what a tall would be at a Starbucks, that's like
That's
like
way
so
too-
much foam.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also just plain espresso probably has a place. That's probably like that hot. I do like.
Shoot, that might be the best. It's what we get at the coffee shop in the hotel at Japan. I just get the double.
I like
double
that
espresso.
they have a nice oat latte too.
Oh, those are good. Comes in that nice little glass. Yeah, it's just nice.
It just depends. It depends on if it's like a treat yourself day or not to me. Because that's not you just can't do it. Yeah, it's
No,
too
it's
much.
it's
too
excessive.
good.
And then what? Then you're just living in luxury every day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
well,
have
then it
something to look
stops
forward
feeling
to.
special,
Yeah.
and then it's no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's that.
So that's that.
I like that.
We did that.
We did that.
And then also we played some cornhole.
Yeah.
It got a little competitive as it usually does.
does every single
and some
time.
feelings were getting hurt.
My God.
Everybody was getting nasty with each
I'm
other.
gonna-
I wasn't. For the record, I was none the wiser. I was pretty drunk at this point. I have to admit, all things considered, I got on top of me. I was fine. You know what I mean? But my motor skills were still 100%. But I didn't really notice that everybody was feuding so heavily and that nobody was having a good time with us playing cornhole. But I loved it.
I'm going to make one thing clear because you've said it out loud and I want it to be said to the public is I have never done that. And I've told you when you asked me to play at the end of the night, I said I hope to die having never touched one of those bags.
I was on and I'm doing my bit where I'm fucking around. Me and Al cleaned house and I go, All right, Timbo.
Cleaned house. There was a total of like 6 people there. So
Well, no, we
hold on.
played 3
Hold
games.
on.
The first 2 games, our opponents amassed 3 points total, and then that last game, Bobber did stick in there, but then we
Honey,
whooped his ass.
the fact that you remember the scores is really problematic for me.
I'm here to win, baby.
It was getting heated.
It was getting heated. I go,
gonna
Timbo,
supercut
this
it
is for
together.
you. And he goes, I can't even see it. Like, just
Sitting
annoyed
so
by it.
far back.
It was tight. So we did that, grilled out. Other than that's about it, dude. Saturday, we didn't do shit. Was hungover and just kicked it around the house. Sunday, we went to Whole Foods. Is that it? No, Saturday went to Whole Foods. Yeah, that was it, though. Did you do anything fun? Is there anything of note to report?
No, the team wasn't strong this week. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like we're really out there doing stuff, and this was just not of that. We ran some errands, and then that was kind of it. I think Gia she's sick today. I think she was already a little under the weather.
Not feeling
prior.
so hot, yeah.
We did. Abby drove like 2 hours to buy Gia like
That
for her
dope
birthday.
dollhouse set.
Yeah, it's like a mid-century modern dollhouse from like
it came with like architectural
1960.
plans, and you had to
Yeah.
go buy the wood and shit. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, so it's huge, and it's like wired for electricity, and it's
So
got
sick.
glass in it. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she did that for Gia's birthday.
I
So
was
we did
thinking
that.
how fun it would be if you guys mounted on a table so that you could build a bunker underneath the house that only you guys know about.
You want this to be number 1, a permanent fixture in my home. Number 2, you want it to have some sort of weird bunker because that's what dolls need.
Yeah.
A place where there's.
I'm thinking more architecture.
I love it. Chase.
That's true. You are thinking architecture.
Yeah. Shoot.
Okay, so no, there was nothing going on there.
Cool.
You know, one thing I don't have. There was nothing. There was nothing going on.
You know, no movies or nothing.
There's nothing out right now.
Yeah, bro.
The movie industry is trash right this second.
Yeah.
So they'll switch it up.
Is there
The backside of summer never has a lot of stuff, and then honestly,
the backside already?
Most of this, for their season, and then most of the stuff that comes out is like that's when Mission Impossible and shit comes out. It's not the shit I'm going to see. God bless.
Yeah,
if you
what's
like
going to be
Mission
the movie of the year? Because was it last summer or the summer prior that it was Barbie? Barbie and Oppenheimer. That was
2
last
years
summer.
ago, dude.
That was last summer, dude.
Dude, it was not. Was
Was
Barbie
that
and
last
Oppenheimer
year?
last summer?
Let me look.
That feels like it was forever ago.
I'm just curious what the. No, it was Dune.
Have you
last
seen
year.
either of those movies?
No.
You saw Dune 2?
I saw Dune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dune was tight. But that's the last movie I went and saw.
Okay. While we wait on this, I think that. Go ahead. You got it.
2 summers ago.
2 summers ago.
2023.
Jesus, dude. Wow.
Been a minute since.
Time flies, huh?
Yeah. What was I thinking about? What about without? We'll do like a proper recap of buying. Maybe we can do that next week, so we can kind of talk about what we saw was going on.
By then, yeah.
Was there any trends or anything that you saw that was like exciting for you? A little bit of a whirlwind, but
A little bit of a whirlwind. Yeah, it's hard to recall everything. You know, a couple brands stick out. Orally was incredibly good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like the really cool workwear stuff that we've seen from them in previous seasons, maybe leaning in a little bit to that, as well as some of the other stuff that like those Finks dyed jackets or the chino ones. So the stuff in that similar treatment. So as a whole, I can say I'm excited about Orally. The Hero buy is next level, as we'd expect. But trends wise, I don't think that there's anything that I can like pinpoint that is synonymous between all of them. Right? Can you?
I think that color was more of a thing that it's been.
You mean
for
like
the past couple seasons?
More pops of color, perhaps?
Like choices with color.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like whether it was like a single piece that was like a statement, or it was like something that like permeated the entire collection.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like making choices around color seems to be, pretty major.
Some good red jackets.
A lot of red.
Yeah.
A lot of yellow.
Yeah.
A lot of like mauve. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah, I agree.
mauvey colors.
Mhm.
So I think that like maybe by next summer we'll have come out of this little more homogenous like
Sure.
palette stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure,
As much
sure.
as that's what I like, it's
Yeah.
definitely like feels like that's a little bit of a thing. I mean, like we've said a couple of times, it just feels like I don't know. We're probably getting the cobwebs shaken out of us this season. And then I feel like the next couple seasons, we're going to see some major changes inside of like trends and styles and silhouettes and stuff like that. Because even like all these major designers that were making debuts, from everything that I saw, it felt like exactly what I sort of thought it would, which was, this is clearly not 100% your vision, or that you're new. So this is like you figuring it out a little bit. So, you know, a lot of in between stuff for me, which is fine. You know what I mean? I think good clothes are good clothes, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think also like the trend towards just kind of luxury specifically. What I mean by that is like, you know, if we saw knits, they were cashmere. If we saw, you know, what you name it. I mean, but it's like if it could be done,
silky blended shit, and
yeah, in the more of a luxury way. When I'm materialistically, I mean, like it definitely was. That's the choice that was made. So I think a little bit of that. I think like the trend of like androgyny is still very much like well, not even androgyny. I think that's a different type of trend. I think that this is like very much unisex everything. You know what I mean? Where it doesn't seem like anything is one, you know, nothing feels hyper feminine, nothing feels hyper masculine.
Most of the time the assets were given a shot on men and women. Same collection. It's not men or women specific collection, but it's all
I think
shot
that
on
kind of stuff will take a lot. People would have to see that a lot for a long time to have that become the normal, but I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I think that, I don't know. I think like we sort of talked about predictions, you know, earlier. I don't know what episode or whatever, but it was kind of the same thing of like, well, you know, I think there's a lot of new designers. I think that they have a lot to prove. I don't think they have a clear vision just yet. I think that the people that are still around that have permeated have been more like we've talked about, like just using people that we work with, but like Aurelie or Lemaire, you see that sort of like minimalist approach to luxury or kind of everyday approach to luxury as being like more and more. I think though we might begin to see the switch from everything felt slightly like Japanese influenced for a long time. And I wonder if we're going to start to see a move away from that. Not to say that like Japanese manufacturing won't be what it is, or like the Japanese culture and fashion isn't still extraordinarily important, maybe one of the most important these days. But I do think that like I was seeing a lot more what looked to be more Scandinavian and Scandinavian brands. Like I feel like that's sort of maybe the direction we'll see, which is, you know, almost which I could kind of see off of like, it's not to say that this brand in particular would be the bellwether, but like the look of old Acne sort of coming back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure,
like,
sure,
like
sure.
early Acne, not the later, you know, where they were doing Marnie bits. Like when they, like the early stuff where it was like a little bit more subdued, smart, but still bold in color choices, things like that.
Yeah.
I've also just noticed like this like renewed interest in sort of like Scandinavian design, which look, all this stuff is cyclical. Italian will come in and out. French goes in and out. This goes in and out. Look at that dog.
Whoa.
Incredible.
Look at the coat on that dog.
But like, I think that there's a lot of, there might be a movement away, you know, into a different like, you know, interest in fashion culture from another place. And I do think it's kind of booming there right now. So I wonder if we'll see that continue to happen, or if that's just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to say if it's just me because of the period of life that I'm in, and I feel the most stable I've ever felt, and I'm interested in buying like home goods and shit too. Like, I know we're talking clothing, but like I feel like everybody is really, and maybe I'm just late to the game, but people are really taking an interest in like home goods and objects and like furniture and spaces and shit. Again, that might just be everybody's already been always feeling that way, or maybe it's top of mind because we've picked up some really cool stuff, a new brand coming for spring that has a lot of that stuff that are like art pieces, you know what I mean, and pottery and ceramics, etc. So I mean, in a vacuum, that's where my head is at currently, and I wonder if it's semi-influenced by clothes or not.
There hasn't been a designer who has kept the same level of cachet as like Ralph Lauren. I know we were just talking about this, but kept that same level of cachet and still permeated as far as he did. You know, in fact, maybe to a certain extent, and not at the same level, but Lemaire has, you know, the stuff, the work that they do with Uniqlo is not, it's not regarded as bad. You know what I mean? Like, no, everyone thinks that's good, you know, and if you need like an entry level version of that thing, that's how you start getting into those silhouettes and looks early on.
Yeah.
So I do think that like to a certain, I mean, just in the sense that Ralph Lauren was able to do polo and all this like very like, kind of mall oriented stuff while still, retaining like, the level that Ralph Lauren was on the runway and in, as luxury as like RL and still do home goods and everything else. I don't think we've seen a designer that has like permeated that way while still being like regarded as one of the best. You know what I mean? So I do think that like if it could go down in that direction, I think that there's certainly like who wouldn't want to see like, rooms and stuff, designed by Oral-Lee, but like, could they mass produce the product in a way where you could actually buy it?
I'm thinking like a bed set from Oral-Lee would be stellar. You know what I mean? Like a sheet set and or a duvet cover.
They did collaborate with like Tekla, so I'm sure that technically is available in some way, shape, or form. But like, that wasn't like as readily available. You're talking about that kind of like drop oriented, like Virgil doing IKEA type of shit, where it's like, if it was like a permanent collection, this is a category we've expanded into and we anticipate to like break into this market as well as we've broken into the other markets.
Sure.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, I wonder if like, designers still have like aspirations to do that, or if that's just gone away. You know what I mean? Where at one point you could still be an artist and still hit that many different levels of things. And maybe that's just not what people want anymore, but I don't know. I would love to see a designer, like you're saying, like kind of go down this lifestyle oriented thing where there's multiple arms to what they do and you can kind of play in each one as long as you kind of like fuck with their vision and you see home goods and personal accessories, jewelry, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I just think like it's. I'm interested in their perspective in things other than clothes.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people would be.
Yeah.
I think it's just like it's like a tricky, it's a tricky thing to go down. You know what I mean? Because I think that like in most cases you'd look at like, look at like Canoe. You know what I mean? They've made chairs and tables and
couches
shit, but there's like 3 available, and you're like, well, that's not exactly, that's cool, but it's not. I don't know. That's not going to change culture at all. That's just the reality. You just made art, which is fine. I think that's great. But that's like this is sort of that interesting, intersection between, the designer and like commerce person, business person or whatever, where it's like you still have to like sell a lot so that people can actually have it in their home and it feels like it's a part of them and it's part of culture and it, it's an aesthetic that people recognize from a distance. I mean, there was a time where you could go into someone's house and go, oh, this is Ralph Lauren. You know what I mean? They've done Ralph Lauren. They're doing Ralph Lauren's bit.
My buddy growing up, I remember his family in his room, he had like a Ralph Lauren heavyweight like quilt or duvet that was like chambray, and I just remember being like, it's the best feeling shit. You know what I mean? Like, damn, they really got it. And I always thought that was cool. Like you said, there was a whole world. You could get high end Ralph Lauren, thousands and thousands of dollars suits and this, that, and the other, or you could go to the Ralph Lauren outlet and get yourself a nice little chambray with a little guy hitting the polo, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Hey, there is a polo. What's the sport called? When you
the sport of polo?
Is it just straight up polo? There's a polo club out by us, and they were on horses riding hitting the fucking ball.
The guy I used to work for did it.
Really?
You have to have like 12 horses. I don't know if that's too big.
What?
It's like you have to have like it's a lot of horses.
You personally?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's
I mean, there was a bunch of
too.
people with a bunch of trailers. Yeah, bunch of people with a bunch of trailers and shit out there getting ready. It's like the nicest grass I've ever seen.
Yeah, I went to.
I didn't know people actually played that.
I went to a match of his one time and was like, "Damn, this is." They say it's expensive, and I guess I just assumed it's like, it's just wealthy people that did it because you had to own a horse. And they were like, "No, it's." I don't know what the number is, but it's like 6 or something. It's a lot of damn horses.
Individuals.
Yeah.
To play because you're switching them out and shit because they get tired.
Well, I don't know what they're doing it
dude.
for, but that's the.
Yeah,
that's a prestigious ass sport.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we move into questions now? Have we filled our?
We're at a good time.
Okay.
Okay. First question for you guys is, what does good service actually mean to you in today's culture beyond retail? You can do retail too, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chase, I think that you should comment on this as you've done a lot of what we've done digitally for it. But I think that, we've talked about it a lot in that we've tried to mimic the model of Starbucks, which I only know like the Howard Schultz thing from working at Starbucks. But like the fact that was supposed to be like third place type shit, I think that like, obviously like that's gone away. COVID killed that to a certain extent. but I don't think people desire anything differently. You know what I mean? Like you still want to have a place where it feels like, you know, whether it's you go to hang out with your boys or you go to, you know, you go to just have it's like you compartmentalize your life to a certain degree.
I
you know
get
what I
you.
mean?
Yeah.
And I think that the nice thing about what we can do at Canoe Club is if you actually build on community and you kind of stand on that soapbox as we do, because I think a lot of people talk about community, especially big brands, and you're like, shut the fuck up. You don't care about it. You don't actually really know what it means. It just means like what in your mind, it's a bunch of people that spend money with you, and that's all it is. And that's where it begins and ends. And I think that if you can't do it authentically, then don't do it at all type shit. But I think that the goal was always to like put together spaces on the internet. This was predominantly during COVID that we started this, was to build those spaces for people to come and hang out with their friends that were and meet people that were like-minded. Because you know how we always say, like, if you like clothes like we carry, it's almost for sure you like coffee in that way, or bikes, or guitars, or movies, or it doesn't matter. Whatever it is,
But whatever it is
life,
you're into it, and you keep into it. Yeah.
So we just wanted to make a space, especially at the time when you couldn't be at the store, and it just felt like more and more that wasn't what our generation and younger was doing. You know what I mean? They weren't going to places to find that, unfortunately. At least not at that time when we were setting that stuff up. So I know that doesn't answer the question fully, and it doesn't, and this is like one aspect of what we do, but that was certainly part of it. Was like we wanted the customer service to not feel like it was transactional. Like there's that element, and that's like our baseline that you
we have shit you can buy it from us, certainly, but also
and you deal with humans if you got there. You know what I mean? You deal with people that like understand where you're coming from and can, you know, we still have to have rules and restrictions and shit because it's a business. But at the end of the day, we wanted to make sure it was still like a thing where it's like, oh, when you reach out, it's like, oh, those are the guys that are like in the video talking to me on this, or they're really part of the business. Like that's why I've always wanted everyone to be included in all the social type stuff that we do, simply because I want people to be able to, you know, see the people and talk to the people. And it feels like it's like you're part of what we're doing. Cause that's really what it is. I mean, we don't exist if there's no customer, and that's not to like, you know, overdo it on customers or anything. It's just, it doesn't exist if those people aren't part of it. And if there's a community that we can like hang out with, well, now it's like, I don't really want to ever leave Canoe Club. Like I like this space that I get to be in all the time with my friends, and I get to buy things, and I get to interact with things that have nothing to do and get inspired in different ways. That was always part of it. Yeah. I think that's one of our biggest arms of customer service. That's not like direct customer service. Yeah. And then the store's different. I mean, the store, once it came back after COVID, it was always just like, there's no sales pressure. The people in the store don't even know what their sales numbers are. It's always been by design. We wanted it to just feel like it's people that want to hang out, and, you know, it's very relaxed. There's no desire to try to like run up on people and try to make sales. It's more about just education. Either you're rocking with what it is, or at least you got some information for next time or to digest, or you might leave and still be like, fuck that place. And that's totally fine too. But we just don't know whenever it'd be a place where it was like, you got cool guide, like at Barney's and shit like that. It just was
or other places that we've talked about. I think if we could succinctly kind of put it into like one sentence, it's like for me, and what it means, and what I think what you're talking about emulating here is like you walk into a place and you want to feel like these people are your friends. Like actually, there's a spot in Denver, Potage, that restaurant. Yeah. And every single time we're in there, I have a moment of realization, like, fuck, dude, like this last time we were in there, you weren't with us, but this fella that was waiting on us, I was like, fuck, dude, like we need to poach him. Like he needs to work for us. Like I love this guy. I feel like he's been my friend for a long time. He's so incredibly good at his job and well-spoken with the product. And like, he could have sold me on any menu item or not sold me on any menu item. Like, and I think that that's what I respond to. And I think that's what I try to give to people, or that we all do, is like, I want you to feel like you're my friend. And I like that when I get that from other people as well. There's a couple places that I go. Again, I don't go to all that many places, but when my people are there, I really enjoy it. And that's what I look for in quote unquote service when there's an exchange. It's like, does the person feel like they give a shit at all? And then like, are they treating me like their friend? And that's like that's what I think good service is, to answer the question just like straight out.
Well, I think it's like if you're coming to that work with just being your genuine self, like, and I think that's on the employer to make sure that everyone feels like they can do that.
To build that space.
that's why we don't have dress codes. That's why we don't enforce sales limits. That's why we don't. It's like it's all it might seem lazy. It's really just strategic, and that like I just want people to be themselves and then make an experience that by doing their job where it's just like the people are what makes things special. And that's what drives me nuts about some places where it's like it's all about I'll be transparent. Like it was half the reason we dragged ass on doing podcast or anything like that is because I was very self-conscious of anyone being like, oh, one of the owners wants something to do with like Limelight or whatever. And that's like why we put off a lot of the content we did forever, was just like not wanting it to feel gross. You know what I mean?
You could think of in this industry or otherwise, think of a company and like if you find out it's like, oh, the person that owns it is also in every model photo or what have you. It's like, oh, damn, you did a store so that you could be seen, not because you enjoy it.
And there's also like, this is also tricky to say because like technically at the same time, it can also be really difficult when you're small and you're like, we just needed somebody and I'm cheaper than others. You know what I mean? So I get a lot of it. I just think that like, I don't know, to answer the question, I think it's really just about like, if you bring your genuine self to the party and you hire right people and they do the right things, the goal is just that people feel like seen, heard, and that's really it.
Yeah.
It's just seen and heard is, I think, good service. I mean, so often, like I just went to a restaurant recently that was a very nice restaurant and the server did a great job. No one did a bad job. It was just like, it was the him show. It was like talk. We're not really given much. And you're like, oh yeah, ha ha. And you're like, you're running these bits, man. Like just let us talk, man. We're at dinner, And I think that's the problem when you suddenly make it about yourself or like you're not really thinking about like what that individual customer needs from you, not, this is the bit I do to everybody. I think that's when it's the listening aspect of things.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, we've done it for years in the store. If we find out that somebody's in from out of town, be like, where are you staying? Can we give you already have a list of recommendations? Where are you eating tonight? Like, let us write down some things for you so you have a good time from the eyes of people who live here. You know what I mean? And like, I know that we all jump at the opportunity for that. Like, I get so stoked to say, go down to dry storage. Or, hey, you
go down to jungle.
Go down to jungle. Or like, a sandwich sounds cool. Cool. You should pop down to Dish on the east side. They got cool little house-made pickles and nice little sandwiches, shit like that, And that brings me a lot of joy to like impart. That's my personal taste on a thing. Yeah. And maybe it makes them feel more at home or like they had a more, genuine experience in a place that they don't live.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, I think that it's just trying to figure out how to like make sure people know that you care. I think that so much of luxury transactions specifically is always just like, I don't know. It's just so gross. I don't know how to like describe it in any other specific way. It can just feel a little, I don't know, just feels a little gross. It feels a little transactional. It feels a little, I don't know. It feels lesser. And then sometimes like even that, like when the nicer stores give you that sort of like hotel room experience where it's like, here's the bottle of water. Here's this, here's that. Now go away from me and I'll see you again when it's time to check out. It's like that type of shit where it's like, not that I want to hover, but I definitely want people to be like, hey man, like, what's good?
Brings you in.
Yeah.
I like the situation you got going on. What are those pants?
Or if there's someone that's talking, especially, people like to play the price game and shit like that of being like, not just being like, oh, it's so fucking annoying that they're like making fun of the prices, rather than be like, oh, let me tell you about it. And like, if they're not rocking with it, who gives a shit? I don't care. I'm not going to appease everyone. It's not the type of business.
But now you have the information.
But yeah, now I gave you valid information. At least I didn't like take that type of feedback and immediately get nasty about it, which I think is what a lot of people do. I think that we've always been, all of us, really good at taking feedback. I don't think there's nothing people are saying in the Discord or have said in customer service or anywhere else online that they talk about us that we haven't, that ends in a meeting that we have. And sometimes there's like, this doesn't make sense for us. I appreciate, but it doesn't make sense for us. And there's shitloads of it that we've taken and done. It's not like some self-congratulating thing, but we wanted this to be for the people that love it. I mean, my business partner didn't necessarily need this, in his life. And when we did this, it was because it was like, well, there isn't a store that's like, I've been buying for, at that point, a long time. And it was like, there is not a store that exists that's doing what I want it to do. You know what I mean? And then he felt the same way. And it was just like, well, let's just do that thing. You know what I mean? That totally. Thing that this missing puzzle piece from retail where it's like, it doesn't feel as social or friendly or like, you know what I mean? Like, I think and I get it. I think a lot of people think if you start going down the roads that we have, it's like, oh, it's corny or it's dorky or it's like you're talking about it too much. It's that whole like, when your mom describes a Facebook post and you're like, Jesus, please don't. It feels, I don't want it to do that, but I also want it to be like this. People do want to talk about this stuff, and it doesn't have to be so like, I'm Brad and blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, it's just like, it's cool guide. I'm so sick of that in fashion. Like for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? It's not, first of all, it's dorky. What we're into is dorky. Let it be dorky and fun. And, you know, it doesn't need to be this like self-serious bullshit.
Also, at the end of the day, it's just clothes. Yeah. You can go to Walmart and get a pair of pants. You can get whatever the fuck you need. These are just clothes. So if you think you're like the coolest person on the planet because you're selling clothes and you're too cool to give people the time of day, I'm here to tell you that's just not the case. We're just selling clothes. We're regular ass people, and that's just how it goes. So we definitely stray away from that feeling of like being too cool for school.
I just want people to feel comfortable. I mean, maybe that's the best answer. Is just I want people to feel comfortable on the website, in person, listening to our podcast, whatever it is. I just want people to feel comfortable around us and what we're doing.
Yeah. Dope.
No, I totally. It always makes me think like you guys talking about the cool guy mentality, or like the classic gross salesman. I'm like, I don't think anyone enjoys being at the mercy of someone like, you know, a mattress salesman, a car salesman going into a Saks Fifth Avenue, and it's just like a gross feeling. And I'm like, does anyone enjoy that feeling?
No, but these are just things that are built into an industry. Like you pop into a car dealership today and you walk in the door, there's like 6 dudes standing around and they all move the second you come in. And it's like, I'm the product here. You know what I mean? I thought that you guys were going to sell me on something. You guys are fighting over me, and that feels gross because you'll do anything to get the money.
You know, I was car shopping not that long ago, and there was 2 versions. One was what you're describing, and then they kind of didn't really know much about the car, to be honest with you, and didn't seem to really care. I mean, I think the job's different, just to be clear. Like people research all this shit online now and know what the prices are supposed to be and everything that's available, you know, at the touch of they can pick up their phone and look. But at the same time, I think that's allowed some people to get lazy. And then there was another version where there was no talk about that car unless I asked a specific question. Do you know what I mean? Everything else was like, tell me about yourselves. Let me blah, blah, blah. And you know that, look, they're probably using it all so that they can but they're using it all to better understand what my actual needs are.
Interesting.
That's the big difference in my mind is like, I'm getting to know you because I'm trying to best serve you. You know, I'm not assuming that we're going to be best friends, but I'm also like, I need to understand what your needs are and what your goals are to understand what thing that you need.
How long is your commute? How often do you envision needing extra room for kids? You got your
do you
daughter
have a growing
and shit,
family? Do you have this? Do you have dogs? Do you have? I mean, like where do you live in town? Blah, blah, you know, these things.
Yeah, totally.
And then, look, a lot of them are probably giving him cues that he needs that he's going to use against me or whatever. But like at the same time, the reality is at least someone listened, and that's like most of it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
It's just being mindful of people that they're people and they're not just like dollar signs.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
Cool.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Okay.
This is a little 180. Who would be your dream guest on the podcast? It could be someone dead or alive, or maybe not even real. Who would that be?
Shoot.
Give because you're gonna give a weird one regardless. Give one weird one and like one like fashion one. You want me to go first?
That dog's tail. He's got long hair.
That is a really long tail. The tail's dragging on the ground.
Yeah,
Looks like a fox.
That's strange. Guests dead or alive. The thing is the more that I think about something like this, I think of like a couple musicians come to mind. I wonder if I meet them, if it will change this feeling and this like closeness that I've built with this relationship, some going on 15 years of like this record or this artist, you know? So it's
listen, I think that one thing that's, not to cut you off, but like one thing that's important to know is we've interviewed people, and look, celebrity is going to be going a little far for who we've interviewed, but I think that we definitely people of public note, no question, or at least that we've followed or had some relationship with prior. And I don't mean like friendly, I mean like some relationship by viewing their videos or their content or whatever it is, you know. And we've had them on, and you've been excited, and then you're like, the person was a little different than I thought they were in my head, and that changes my mind on them. Yeah. So I will go to bat for I think where you were going down there of like, avoid meeting your people. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just better to just have them in your head the way you want them in there, and that's best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like I don't know if this was like a hardcore guy thing or something, but like I don't really have many like idols, so to speak. Like I don't worship
idols.
any guy. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. Everyone's kind of a person. I think that some people are really talented at what they do, but like I don't know that like my favorite musician is necessarily a guy that would also be my best friend. You know what I mean? Like if we met in a different situation, probably wouldn't be like my best friend. Maybe, you know. But so I don't know. It'd probably be some like honestly. I don't know. It depends. Like Tim Robinson comes to mind. I think that meeting Tim Robinson would be really cool under the right circumstance where I'm able to talk to him and ask him specific questions and he won't be annoyed and that he will be excited to answer those questions.
Well, that's an interview.
But that's not going to happen.
Well, that's an interview, though. Like, we're not playing real world. You know this. We just did this.
Okay, yeah, then
you know what I mean?
it
Like, that's
probably...
fine. Like, what you're describing is what you'd like to do is interview him.
I'd like to be like, hey, where did you... Tell me about this bit you did. Is this were you thinking of a guy in your mind? Like, is there somebody you knew earlier in life that acted this way and you're building off of? Or so realistically, it'd be Tim Robinson, because I feel like I don't have an emotional connection. Say, like, for instance, like I've said before, I'd love to have like Mike Kinsella or something on the pod, the American football Owen, and there's some things that I'd like to talk to him about, but also I think that I'm fine to just leave it as is. You know, Phil Everum from the Microphones, same thing. I just like him as the music and the world that he's built, and I maybe don't need a full peek into like what that guy really looks like, because I think I'm going to find that he's a lot closer to like a normal person than like this artist that I've put him on this pedestal of like different. You know, he's different. So I don't know. Tim Robinson. I feel like even if he is like not funny or something, I'd get what I want out of it, which is...
He's from Michigan and is into like skateboarding and music and movies and comedy. So I feel like that is a pretty solid chance that we could get along just fine.
I think so. Again, especially if this is the dream world where it's like, hey, openly, I'm going to ask you about like Shirt Brother bit or something and be like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Or like, there's some things that like recurring themes in if you watch Detroiters and then I Think You Should Leave and then Friendship, there's some things that he does, and I don't know that. Tim Robinson. Hey, that's the answer. Rondo.
Well, I mean, on the tails of me saying it, actually, and this is probably just because it's fresh in my head, it would be fun to interview Anna Wintour, to be honest with you, like to kind of hard drill her on some stuff, because she doesn't really like to do that as it is, so I think that could be fun. Like anyone who's going to kind of have a little pushback for you, I like.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of like the interview being a little hard.
A little
cat and mouse.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know
Well, you
I mean?
could do that.
Well, it's just, I think you just have to like pivot a lot, which is funny. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, I'll just keep pivoting until until I figure out the thing that like you seem okay about. There's always a moment when we do those interviews where like you see someone's eyes change on a certain question, and you're like, boom, we'll just do this. I can stay here forever.
Oh, great. We found this lane.
There's a million more questions. Because all you have to do is be genuinely interested in other people, I think. And I'm pretty interested in other people, especially if they tell me about their normal life. The public life is well documented. I don't really have a huge interest in that, like, because I've already seen it.
You can read about it,
But I don't know what they're doing at home or like what their bedtime routine is.
Yeah, totally.
I'm very interested in that. And knowing that she's got kind of some freaky shit. What has
like an Anna Wintour? Does she have a personal chef, or do you think she cooks her food? You know what I'm saying?
See, that's more.
I'm
more
curious
interesting
about
than
that.
an article she wrote in 1982.
100%. What's your and if you have a chef, how has it been the same chef for like?
You have a relationship with him?
Yeah, you guys are tight. Like, would you invite him over to like a family function?
Which one of the people
or?
that help you are you closest with?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that'd be a really
I mean,
fun.
It's
I
like
that,
my head is going to like more like I would love to know like a celebrity driver. I would love to like ask them questions, like someone who drives celebrities at a high level or something. Like, what are some crazy ass things that they like they need to be aware of that I don't know about?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or that they are like crazy stories, or like who was best, who was worst. Name names type of shit. That would be fun. I think that,
or tell us about like dramas you experienced in your early 20s. Just tell us about when something went awry. You were out drinking with your friends. Did something crazy ever happen? I just want to hear stories from those people. And because, like you said, I really don't care about their professional life. If they want to throw in little nuggets, that's fine. But like you said, it's out there. If you're Anna Wintour and is she editor? She was chief editor at Vogue. That'd be like the title. Great, cool. Well, there's so much literature about what that job entails, and I just don't really. And also, it's like that's your work. That's not you as a
But I would
person.
love
That's
to
like you
know,
doing
like,
work.
what's the most annoying thing you do at work that you still like, where you're like, how am I still required to do this?
Yeah, sure,
You know what I mean?
Because you
Like,
think at that point there's probably nothing, but there has to
Yeah,
be
I mean,
shit that you hate
there's
to do.
stuff she's got to do that sucks shit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do this. I hate logging this stupid thing I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like people doing things at a high level in a way that's like, just like, what are the, I like knowing it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe.
You know who is an actor, a celebrity that I think, again, in a perfect world, that could be really awesome is Bill Murray. Old fella and he seems like a weird dude, and he's been weird this whole time, and he's kind of unabashedly doing his own thing. Heard that you can't get in touch with him unless he doesn't have a cell phone or an email or nothing. Unless he did that weird Super Bowl ad, which I'm still not 100% sure about.
I'm not as sold on Bill Murray as everyone else.
Oh, I think he's great, dude.
I think he's great in movies that I like him in, you know what I mean? But I don't know why I'm just not as like, I want to be, because I know people just really idolize this dude, but I don't know what it is, but I just sort of don't.
See, I think
never
he's one of
made
the
the
few
connection.
celebrities that if he were to drop dead today, that would hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I would feel sad for him, legitimately.
Dude,
Not to say that when celebrities pass that I just like, I don't really, frankly, I don't know him, so I don't feel super connected to him. But I would be sad if he were to pass because I feel like he's part of things that I really valued as a kid. So.
Well, there's some times where you're like, they were 90 something, they were rich their entire life and were operated at the highest level of whatever they were doing. And it's like, what else do you want life to be? Too bad they're gone, obviously. They did about the best life living they could do. So I think they're solid.
A lot of times it turns into the Smokey Robinson bit from The Office where it's like, oh, he's dead. I love him so much.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, that's a hoax. He's alive. You should go to his show. Oh, too expensive. I can never go to his show. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, it becomes something that you like think makes you interesting because you feel like you had and I don't care about that.
See, some people are just better at that. Like I was rewatching, because remember I told you I saw at the gym they were playing Last Dance, so I rewatched the whole thing, and then I made Abby rewatch it, so I've rewatched it twice in the span of like a couple weeks.
Sick, yeah.
And
it's good.
It's so good. It's like the best. I think it's the best documentary.
This is the one
that I've
where
ever
it
seen.
kind of ends with Michael Jordan, and he's kind of like choked up, and he's like, "Listen, I just want to fucking win, and if you don't want to win, then."
Well, that was at the end of like episode 9. There was more episodes after that. But
Oh,
yes,
okay,
yes,
okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. That was like the very famous last scene. Where he says break at the end and then they cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for the record, I've seen it. It's really dope. Michael Jordan rules. That's a killer.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you watch that and you're like, oh, when Michael Jordan goes, that's going to be a heavy loss for the entire world. That's a heavy one. Everyone still thinks because he is the best.
Either you love him or you hate him because he fucking sued the local newspaper for using his name. You know what I mean? Like, or like some diner
But
shit.
at
Like,
least he tried to stay out of it. He finished and was like, I'm out of here. You know what I mean, I'm back. I'm not in the, it doesn't seem like he really wants the celebrity
that's
or
what
anything.
blows my mind is how many people I think for the most part, famous people become famous because they're seeking out fame. So I can't grasp as a person who doesn't want to be famous why you would get all that money and then still be fucking around in public. But then you realize that most people who became famous because they are seeking out becoming famous. You know what I mean? But Michael Jordan kind of doing his thing and then being like, all right, I'm out. I'm just going to have a bunch of money and not be bothered.
I would love to know,
Owns a
like, I
basketball
would love to
team.
interview Michael Jordan's just be like, what is your like workout routine now? Because like, he's not in like insane shape. I mean, he looks fine, but like, he's not in insane shape anymore. So he obviously doesn't do this as like
I'm assuming-
all the time thing. He's probably fucking sick of it. And I don't want to be like, I want like, what do you do now? Like, what's the, what
He's
is
probably golfing, dude. That's probably it. That's probably like most of his physical activity.
I mean, he's got so much money. He definitely has like somebody who's like telling him to do certain things. I have to.
If I had that
imagine.
amount of money, I would absolutely want a chef. And they would just be like, hey, 5 days out of the week, your shit's handled. You don't got to worry about it. Boom, it's here. I bring it to you and it's handled. That would be great to have like a professional dietitian
I've told
looking
you
after
before,
you.
like, when people play the dream car game, and I always say, I don't, my dream car is a driver that takes me everywhere I want to go and just parks for me. And I don't think about cars ever again in my entire life. And this is the same thing with, if I had a private chef, I would love to go out to restaurants just for the ambiance. But like, I brought my own chef. He'll do my thing in the back, or he brought it. They'll warm it up. And put
you
it
guys
on-
don't mind nuking it for a
stuff
second.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I could just know he knows what I like.
Yeah,
He knows
I wanted the ganache. I wanted the dessert.
He just
but
make me the same food every single day
Yeah.
from now into eternity.
yeah.
I act like it's great every
Is there
single time.
anything that if you were like right now, if you're like, fuck, this is what I would ask, like the number one thing that you would ask for them to have prep for you every day?
I
or
don't
regularly?
care. I like bowl of stuff. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like where it's just like greens or like hummus or like a meat or a just bowl
I mean,
of
you're
stuff.
right in the same. I'm thinking like, give me like a salmon fillet, some nice couscous,
Sure.
and maybe a light salad with some cucumber, arugula, and like olives or something, and like just be like, just freak that however you want, but I could have that every day, twice a day, easy. Hey, you know
what are we doing? Oh, David Letterman's the other one for me.
Oh,
I would
Letterman,
like to
yeah,
interview.
yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be good at it. I think he's a hard interview. But
well, because he's
an interviewer.
He's going to do the interview.
And he doesn't give a
regardless,
ton
yeah.
about his personal life, and he's sensitive about certain subjects. You have to be kind of careful. But I think it would be cool to sit with him in a room with microphones, just because we don't even need to record it. I just think it would be cool to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
In that setting.
Are there any like Adam Friedland? Would he be funny, or would it
I don't want to
go
do that.
awry?
No, the whole thing is it's like a setup.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a
Because he
fucking
does.
track.
He just like boom, boom, boom. Because
Yeah.
you said to fast pivot, and it's like, well, that dude, he's really good at pivoting. And like, by the time that he gets the guy or the guest to say whatever, it's like, damn, I didn't realize we were here. How do you?
Well, it's like I could Adam Friedland to you right now, where it's like I just bait you into talking about something that I do it to you regularly.
Yeah.
I bait you into talking about something I know you like, and then immediately turn on it
Yeah,
the other way because
yeah.
you think, oh, it's exciting to
Oh,
talk
great,
about
yeah.
this thing I want to talk about, and then you immediately use it
Yeah,
against you.
yeah.
That's his whole bit. I do not want to do that because first of all, I think I would get too stiff, see it coming.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it'd be
no
fun to
good.
have like a beer with him, but I agree. Maybe an interview setting would be a little too
I don't want to get interviewed.
controlled.
That's a setup.
You know,
It's a fucking setup.
Yeah, setup.
Yeah, no one's coming out of there winning.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless you're like a freak and you just don't know what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that answered? Are we good?
Yeah, I think it's great. Sure.
I did fashion one. I didn't do a fashion one.
You did
Oh yeah, I did Anna Wintour.
Yeah,
Whoa,
I
look
would,
at that, dude. Old Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Old one that has that's
tire
like
on the back
It had to be
and
like a fucking 50s or something.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me to drive around one of those old timey cars. That
Uh,
is crazy.
I
That's
I
totally
don't I don't
crazy.
feel towards those type of cars. I
They
don't
all
really
look
care.
like Mr. Peanut drove them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're
yeah.
like, this fucking,
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it looks like it's part of the royal carriage. You know what I
it's
mean?
So dorky.
No, I think that old cars are cool when you're in the realm of like, like older like Camaros and shit and old like muscle cars. I think that shit's dope. But when it looks like that, they're too dainty. You know what I mean?
You and a muscle car is a funny pairing to me for some reason.
Oh, bro, if I could have like an old Camaro or like an old Barracuda or something, that'd be so flippin' cool. Loud as fuck.
You have a IROC or something. What was that?
Yeah,
word?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the IROC Z. Those are dope.
Okay. Move
yeah,
on.
Hit me with
Move
the
on.
last one. Chloe.
Well, actually, we're gonna jump into recommendations now.
All right, cool.
We're almost at time. I want to
right.
make sure we're good here. Do you guys have any recommendations up?
Oh, we got a model coming in 10 minutes.
Oh shit.
Recommendations. Oh,
The
I
Last
do.
Dance.
I do.
No one caught that from 2020.
Yeah, go watch the Last Dance. Oh, I'm rewatching Bloodline, Timothy. I just like put that on. Did you watch Bloodline?
No.
Oh, I thought you did. It's on Netflix. I just like put it.
But I don't. No, I didn't see it. I don't know what that is.
You would hate it probably if I know you. But I'm rewatching Bloodline. I'm really enjoying that. No, I do have a recommendations. APFR. I know that we've been waxing on and on about Blue Spruce and Dense are two really good incense. I have another one that is like quickly becoming my favorite, and it is Burbs. I think that Burbs. I don't know the notes off the top. I don't know really anything about it. We burned it here that one day because I was like, oh shit, I don't know what this smells like. It is my new one. I burned it all weekend when I was putting together I was working on all my plants and cleaning up my office and shit. So Burbs, is it cool if you could weigh in with the notes?
Yeah, it's balsam fir, cedarwood, green leaf, nutmeg, and sandalwood.
Beautiful. So it's very woody, certainly warmer than not. But that's my scent. I know Abby really likes Burbs too. So I would recommend the incense sticks from APFR Burbs. If APFR has clicked with you and you don't have that yet, you should certainly invest in that. Other recommends. If you live in Colorado, Whole Foods are getting Palisade peaches. The Palisade peaches are in season. They look good. So I would recommend you go pick up some of those.
Hey, normally we do, but we did just restock Margin.
Oh, yeah, literally
products.
yesterday. Yep. And there's a new product. You want to talk about that?
It's a serum. excellent as always.
You used it?
Yeah, I used the serum just this morning. It was great. I mean, I don't know what the effects are. I've used it one time, but it felt great. It was easy to use. Their packaging still goes sort of like, it's sort of that perfect, like, it's not the type of shit where you buy it and you're like, it's not, there's no labels or anything on it where it's like, and you paid,
So much money.
$78 for for the smallest thing you've ever seen. It's not at that level. It's so then I do, because I have that stuff, and then you're always afraid to use it, or like, am I using this in the right circumstance? And I can only do an everything shower if I'm going to use that one.
Yeah.
This just sits right between that and something that, I don't know, cheaper that you wouldn't want to use. It's like the perfect middle, like everyday shit that if you've got like, especially now that they have the serum, if you've got those three things, you're fucking set up. And I love the, can you tell me, and I'm going to forget, so I'm sorry to make you look something else up, not Viridian, which is also nice, the other scent from
Warm water?
Warm water.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of the name. Warm water is really great. It's like smoky and earthy and really nice, and it really, like, when you use it in the shower, it lingers. Like,
What
it
is
makes the
what
whole
is the
bathroom
product?
really
Is it a
smell
body
good.
wash?
Body wash.
Okay, cool.
So that's also great. But honestly, if more than anything else, those three products, the cleanser, the lotion, the serum, the best stuff. It's the only stuff
Dope,
I use.
dope.
Yeah. I was out of it for a little while, so I was really hurting. So
Yeah.
it was nice. But we had the stuff from Japan. I've got like the stuff that Abby and I get in Japan. But this
Nice.
was,
Oh, yeah, you guys have your shit.
I missed this a lot. It's light, it's easy, but it still feels like it's really working. I think it's great. Plus, you have three things, and that's all you need, and it looks nice in the we'll call it the pantry, the whatever you call it.
No, I got you.
The
Cupboard.
Oh, yeah, cupboard.
Yeah.
The assortment, the arsenal.
Do people call it
It's like
drug something? That was what was in my head.
Drug cabinet.
drug
drug
cabinet.
cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't know why.
Behind the mirror, typically.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks nice too. It's just it's the best stuff. Plus, go back and listen to our episode with Drew. He's like the nicest guy in the world.
Let's have Beck on.
Yeah,
we should.
Shoot him an email
let's get
today
Drew
or
back.
something. Yeah,
He's
we'll get Drew
great.
back on. He's a sweetheart.
Got a 100-watt smile.
Yeah. I need some new
that a lot of
shower
watts?
shit, actually. What?
Is that a lot of watts? I don't feel like that was right.
100.
I don't know how many watts are in a watt.
Cole would know.
You know how many watts are in a?
What's a big one?
How many? What's a watt? You're like, that's a lot of watts.
I mean,
1,000 probably.
I always think of audio,
Million.
and I'm like, you have a 40-watt amp. That thing is loud as
Okay,
shit.
that's a good point. So 100's good. 100's
Yeah,
good.
100 watts like a lot.
Great.
You know.
Great. That's probably the.
I wasn't even thinking about it as with amps. That make that.
Yeah,
the thing
that's what
should've
I always
gone
think
to.
of
Yeah.
watt.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, that's about it. I need some new shower shit, so maybe I'll pick up the warm water stuff.
I love it.
Also, the NO
Viridian's nice,
green from Corpus, the cleansing bar is
Yeah.
so
I'm probably
freaking
gonna buy
nice.
that
That's
again.
like the best smell.
Yeah.
Certainly in summer, so I need that fresh shit. But
And then
that's
what,
a good
I don't
reminder.
know what we've got left right this second, but don't sleep. If we're just talking about shower like soaps, Binu, those soaps are.
Yeah,
Killer.
fuck yeah. Worked
Yeah.
through both mine. I had the charcoal one and had the exfoliator one.
Oh, the
can't-
AG, whatever.
AG01.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X.
They're so like creamy and nice.
It's
You know
good.
what I mean? They're really good. They're
really
good.
On my Binu soap holder.
Yeah.
Which is really beautiful. So, yeah, I'm loving all that. I think I've said before, but I'm in this new phase of taking a shower before bed, which is something I never did. I've always been a shower in the morning, and then I just like didn't, you know. And now it's my new thing, dude. I look forward to it. The second I get home, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. When it's time to go to bed, take a nice little shower, good to go, fall right asleep. What we got going on?
It's an ambulance. What are you gonna? You gonna go
I
yell
thought it
at
was
him
somebody,
at the
I thought it was
parking
somebody out there
people?
squawking.
Squawking,
Yeah.
just chirping.
I chirp.
All right. Well, do you want to go through? So we already did margin. There's not a ton of new arrivals this week. We'll start seeing more next. But we've got our legacy,
Our
Yeah.
legacy is here.
bunch of shoes,
Shooting some of that shit on
Vans.
a model today. Our legacy, some MM6
Yep.
product. We got a bunch of Vans. Those Vans should be live. Some
Dr.
Solomon and Hokas as well.
Martens.
Doc Martens, the
Hokas.
Lowells, some of the more of the loafers, the Penton loafers that did really well. People really like those. So those are things that are here now. I am going to import today. I'm going to import, I think, some Capital. I'm going to import some Beams Japan. We also have gotten some word that not the rest of, but more James Coward is ready. So the second that is ready, I will import that.
Don't start emailing us. We will let you know.
We'll let everybody know. We'll put that shit live, and everybody can eat. Yeah.
Oh, it's Thursday, right? So all of you that sleep on
yeah.
Patreon will have already missed your chance.
Yes.
But that means if you're in our Discord, you'll get sale today. Next round of sale. everything that wasn't on sale is now at 30, and then everything that was already at 30 went to 50.
Does it move to 50 or does it stay at 30?
It moves to 50.
Okay.
So this is a big one.
Yep.
If you are hearing this and going, oh shit, I'm gonna miss my size already. Well, the other 30 hasn't moved to 50 yet, so you can still have time to sign up and get early access. But as of today, if not Friday morning, tomorrow morning it will go live.
Yep.
So to everyone.
Yep.
But couple options for you.
Easy. So yeah, pop on over. I'm trying to think at time of this releasing if there's anything else to kind of shout out. But no, I think that's about it.
Sweet.
That's it.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Nice podcasting with you. Let's go do a meeting.
Yeah, let's go do a meeting and do some imports. And while we were talking, I decided I'm going to get a turkey sandwich for lunch. So just want everybody to know that.
Bye.
See ya.